I've been away for a long time. But to make it short, why not make a weapon restricted run on Fallout 4? Can you beat Fallout 4 with only the boxing glove? This basically explains where I have been at. I tried to make Rocky as my character, but got distracted by the scars. This then gave me the idea to make Eiji Date instead. I watched Codsworth feed my son oil and gave the milkman my credit card info. I gave him my name, chose 10 strength because of boxing, 1 perception because I got hit a lot, 6 endurance to go the distance, 3 charisma because I got hit in the head, 2 intelligence because, well, look at charisma, 5 agility because I have to be agile on the ring, and 1 luck because it's all skill, no luck. I had a talk with my child about his future and how I wanted him to be a boxer, watched the news about global warming, and ran towards the local air conditioner for some nice cool air. I got sunburned while waiting for the elevator, so I got put on ice for a little bit too long. I woke up just to see my wife die. I tried to run past the roaches, but they kept biting my ankles. I did not struggle at all to trap these bugs behind doors. I waited until I was safe to pick up my Switch 2 Lite and looked at the next gen drip. I started to have second thoughts on my character, but decided to just leave it alone and leave it as is. Outside, I was overwhelmed by all the new quests, but I ignored all of them and set my waypoint and started my trip to the gym. I tried to discover Bunker Hill, but was put to sleep. I saw a lonely glowing man on top of a plank. I ran past the gym and discovered the Old North Church somehow, and eventually found the entrance to the gym. Inside, I got my weapon for the run, the boxing glove. I picked up some drugs that were laying around the gym, did some shadow boxing, and won a few rounds with Skippy. Outside, I beat up the local homeless people and tried the same thing with these dogs, but they tripped me and killed me from embarrassment. I beat up a raider, but those dogs followed me, and once again, I failed to stay upright. Twice. I discovered Bunker Hill, let an officer perish, and skipped Piper's chat. I chose blacksmith so I can give my glove lead lining. We will be using this upgrade for the rest of the run. I talked down Kyle by using my fist and went back home to put a point in endurance. In Concord, I took bodies and kicked names. Wait, that's not right. Inside the museum was easy, since a charged heavy attack does a finisher on lower leveled humanoid creatures, which looks really cool. I talked to Preston about his local crackhead problem, picked up my Funko Pop, and put a point into armor. I tried to use the boxing glove with the power armor, but it didn't fit. So I used it to get down safely and left it there. Don't worry, I didn't use the minigun. I rushed Gristle and beat up his friend, and then I started beating him up. I ran from the Deathclaw and saw a light in the darkness, my power armor, that was being used by Preston, ready to fight by my side. He didn't last long. I tried to fight the Deathclaw head on, but lost a couple of times. But I didn't give up. I went the distance, I stood my ground, and I got hit by a killer uppercut and lost once again. I even went all the way up into space in one of my losing fights. I even witnessed some Bethesda magic with Preston striking a killer pose. After I got picked up for trying to run away, I decided to throw in the towel and come back later. I went back to Diamond City and talked to Piper about AC units. Watched a bar fight that involved a depressed husband and the wife's lover, and decided to avenge him by giving the lover too many drinks. I put a point into medic because I like healing. I met up with Paul and agreed to help him with his marriage problems, and the quest is broken. I tried to show them Cook's body, but that didn't work. I tried killing Nelson, but that just made Paul mad at me. So I decided to ask Ellie where her son Nick was and leave that quest alone. I did some work for Caillou, painted a wall, and put a point into Iron Fist for more damage. I started my trip towards Nick. Thought I was gonna have a good fight with this raider, but they just ended up running away from me. Inside of the subway station, I decided the best strat was to bum rush the Triggermen, since they have no type of armor whatsoever and are glass cannons. I almost died but didn't because I'm that guy. Inside, I killed more thugs, made Dino go to sleep, picked up my Happy Meal, and talked to Nick about my missing child. Escaping the vault was pretty easy, but I got ahead of myself and slipped up. I made sure I was more careful the second time. I tried to convince Darla that violence wasn't the answer, but she didn't care. Don't worry, thanks to Jet, she and the rest weren't that bad to take down. Even Skinny Malone fell pretty easily. Outside, Nick told me to go play at his house, put a point into Rooted, and place this waypoint. So, at this point of the run, I decided to grind for heavy combat armor if I get lucky with a random encounter. Spoiler, I didn't. But I cut most of it out because it was mostly just me fast traveling back and forth. But don't worry, I found a different solution. I sold some of my items to Trudy for lots of caps and made my way to Hub City Auto Records. This area was difficult, but I did get my helmet. The gunners were tough since I was low level, but this gave me XP for another point in endurance. The fight for the rest of my gear was tough, but not impossible. But the actual boss with the combat armor was a big problem. She kept using a fat man in close distance. This happened a lot. Eventually, with enough head bashing, I killed Captain Bridget. I put my best dress to open a door, and when one grind stops, the next one starts. The Overseer's right arm guard is a lot of caps, so I decided to sell more items and ammo. I noticed I needed some bones. I built some more water purifiers and put a point into Action Boy. I killed some super mutants, killed the legendary one, and took their bones. I discovered Good Neighbor, beat up Finn, and put Brawling on my left arm guard. I went to check on Cook, went back to Concord to beat up some raiders, and have my rematch against the Deathclaw. He didn't have a chance. I saved Preston, put another point on Brawler, and did some house chores for Surges. I helped this farmer kill Jared, put a point on Cap Collector for more caps, and helped Preston some more. Nick showed me his room, got Kellogg's key first try, pushed the value up button, and gave Dogmeat a cigar. I decided to follow Dogmeat so I can struggle against this Yao Guai, because I am not Takamura. I made it to Fort Hagen with Dogmeat, put a point into endurance, and decided to do more quests for Preston. Picked up a hazmat suit since I was in the area. Took care of the raider problem for the local farmers. And reported back to Preston. This triggered the castle quest. I decided to go into Fort Hagen and got humbled as soon as I tried to close the distance. I decided to lock in against the walking toasters, and can I just say, Synths are probably my favorite enemy to fight with unarmed or fist weapons, because of how they just explode, but also because I could still do cool animations because they're humanoids. I picked up my Woogle, I popped my drugs and rushed Kellogg, and didn't even give him a chance. I saw the Brotherhood arrive, gave Nick brains, and I sold my soul for my Overseer right arm guard. I put Brawling on the arm guard, and finally, I had a full armor for the run. I bought a ticket to the Kellogg show, saw my cameo, and learned about Virgil. I was told to go to the glowing sea, so I decided to take back the castle. Thanks to my armor, I was able to survive all them Molotovs being thrown at the giant crabs. During this time, I also used Operation Turtle. This is when I stand really still and not move at all and play defensively while I still do slightly more damage. I ate some eggs and tried fighting the queen head on, but failed. Eventually she fell. I built energy for the castle and was told about farmers in need. I put a point into Lone Wanderer and toughness. I saw a house explode, found the Moonshiner behind it, fought a legendary Mirelurk King on my way to the glowing sea. I put my spaceman suit on, played some COD zombies, but I didn't have Jug, so the zombies got me. I was sent to the moon by the Deathclaw, so I took it personally. I talked to Virgil, put a point into toughness, and made it to Green Tech. Inside, the gunners were tough, but I was tougher and faster with my fist. The Corsair just got stun locked until he eventually wiggled out, but by then he was already dead. I let out the synth, went to the old Nerf church and put a silly password here. Deacon told the railroad I was cool, had my chips oven baked, and decided to help Deacon. I put another point into Lone Wanderer, fought some synths with Deacon, and this quest was bugged too, so I decided to return to Virgil. Virgil gave me teleporter plans. I gave him the surges, built the pieces, powered it up, and was teleported into the Institute. I found Sean, found old Sean, and I decided to meet with the leaders around the place to gain their trust. I was sent to bring the synth home. I met up with the Corsair. I rushed the boat raiders, but then I got jump scared by a big ass bomb. I beat up the rest of the raiders, used the recall code, and finished the last raider. I told Father about it. He told me to go to Bunker Hill. In Bunker Hill, I ran past everyone because no one cared for me. I let the synths go, killed the Corsair, told Father we got jumped, and I put a point into Medic. I went back to Deacon, and the quest was fixed. He gave me a useless gun, got the prototype, and didn't win the bluff. I escorted a synth, talked to Pam, secured a base, got another quest, and put a point into Armorer. I found the DIA catch, returned to Pam, was given Ballistic Weave, but this was pointless because I didn't use it at all for the rest of the run. I talked to Granny at the castle. I blew up Sarge with the power of my fist, built a mortar, fired the mortar. I went to a boring meeting, put a point into toughness, somehow got caught punching the sleeping guy, got this quest I've never seen before. I ran away without hurting anyone else, and left the Institute. I told Preston about my situation, checked on Paul, he's still broken, did some farmer quest, and got the defend the castle quest. I put another point into Rooted, set up turrets, and defended against the walking toasters. The synths were a little more tanky, but weren't a problem, especially the Corsairs. I fought this legendary synth and got an amazing drop. Just listen to my reaction.
Or armor shot. As always,
Oh!
Natural Nuzlocke.
This new glove will be the thing that unlocked my true strength during this run. After destroying some more sins, I took a timeout to upgrade my new glove. I built a shrine for the OG glove. Also, when you drop the boxing glove, it also spawns a second one, which makes me think that the game wanted you to use 2 boxing gloves, but scrapped it for some reason. Back to the castle, the new glove destroyed the Corsair's health. I didn't need to use any of the crits on all these Corsairs. Some tried running away, but we left no survivors. Talked to Preston, put a point into Action Boy, and was given a mission. And Metal Geared my way into the Institute. I punched turrets, KO'd ghouls, including a glowy one, and eventually some synths. I pushed buttons, booted up my PC, teleported the cowboys in, and Preston gave me a big boombox. On my way into the Institute, I ran past most enemies since I couldn't hit the turrets. Eventually inside, the main event of the year happened. 2 gorillas versus 1 man. Who will win? It was me. I won against both of them. Who needs 100 men when you just need me? Anyways, I killed this special synth, had an epic clash with this one, but I won. And gave this one brain damage. Convinced Sean, activated the evacuation tunnel, turned off some bots, and destroyed the guard. The reactor room had a bunch of squishy enemies. I stopped this so-called hero, defeated the special synth easily, placed the boombox, and took a nice shower. I told Small Sean to leave with me. Sergius started up the PC again. I was teleported out, talked to Preston one last time, and pressed the red button, causing the bomb to go off, destroying the Institute, and beating the game, while only using the boxing glove. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like or a comment. Maybe share it with a friend. But for real, I'm just happy that you made it this far. I'm sorry for not uploading in such a long time, but I've been really busy outside of YouTube, which led to me not being able to upload as much. But don't worry. I'll try to make more videos in the future. I have some more Fallout ideas in my mind that I'd like to execute in future videos. But if you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. I know I usually was uploading a bunch of Dead Cells content, but I don't know. I've been really obsessed with Fallout lately, and maybe I'll start uploading more of that. If you guys want me to do more Fallout inspired challenges but include the DLC, you could do that. Just ask me or suggest it. Just keep in mind that I'll probably make these into like a separate part, since I already took a long time editing down this video, since I got sidetracked a lot while recording it. It took me around like 8 hours of footage, and it was all condensed into this small short video because most of it was just grinding and me doing side quests. But I've been yapping a lot, so I won't take up more of your time. So, once again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy my content and any future videos in the future. But until then, I'll see you all later. Bye bye.